So this is the textbook we are going to following for this chapter 1, Cloud Applications and Architectures, which is from George Risey. And this is the first topic. Yesterday we have started data security, under which data control we have covered. The first question we raise is where our data is stored in the cloud. Now, if it is stored in the cloud, it should be public or private. Now, how secure our data will be protected or secure in the cloud? Who will be protected that one? What are the different constraints and protocols the cloud provider is going to be following when the data is going to be in the cloud? So this is what yesterday we discussed, the data control. And this is one example, one scenario I have explained you how the professional services security and data protection security done with the help of this sort of mechanisms. Okay. And this is one also example. We have seen the different scenarios, how troubleshoots will be faced by the cloud provider whenever they have failed to protect our data. So one of the important point that is SOPI know is one of the key constraints. Once the cloud provider has to fail to protect our data, any third party can have put a case on them and claim the total access, grant the access over to the cloud infrastructure, and they can be have. So these are the different scenarios I explain you. Here we stopped yesterday, right? So now continue today. Today we'll probably see the topic encrypt everything. So as I said you earlier, encryption is nothing but converting into one form of data into another form. One form in the sense to the understandable form to the unreadable form. We'll be converting into one form of data into another form of data is called as encryption. Now encryption, everything in the sense we had to be focused on some basic parameters. The parameters are here the cloud is where you are accessing cloud means on top of the OS of actual cloud provider, a virtual machine will be created. From that virtual machine, everyone is going to be accessing. Means accessing the cloud is nothing but through virtual machine itself. Because once the virtual machine is not there, it's very difficult to everyone to access or to access any services, access any data. Because if some persons are the cloud consumer, somebody can use the OS of Windows 7, some are using Windows 10, some are using Linux in the Ubuntu, Red Hat, different OSs. So this virtual machine will be create a platform to all type of cloud consumer so that they can be doing. Once every cloud provider is giving sort of services or any access over the data, then the question raises on some parameters. The parameters is one is the control, next is exchanging of this data and storage services. In these three parameters, how good the security is going to provide, how good the encryption mechanisms will be work whenever a virtual machine is going to be accessing. This is the guest OS who is accessing by the cloud consumer. This when the virtual machine guest OS accessing by the cloud consumer, we had to be the cloud provider has to take care of the control and exchange of data, what type of data exchange it is and which network they are going to use. And how about the storage, whether the entire the storage of space has to be give the access to the cloud consumer or only the portion. It has to depends on the privileges provided by the cloud consumer, cloud provider. And come to the first subheading under this encryption, everything is first part is network traffic. So under the network traffic, it is mainly how we are going to encrypt the network traffic. So Amazon has given a beautiful feature of already we have done some experiment of S3 also. It's a nice feature provided by the Amazon cloud. It is virtual servers, whatever can't be sniff. Sniff is nothing but nobody, the other third party can be look into your network or cannot be access your network. It's some sort of privileges will be there. That will becomes under sniff or sniffer. Now, the second part is backups. For the backups, one of the strong cryptography mechanisms they are going to be following is PGP. PGP stands for pretty good privacy. Pretty good privacy is one of the cryptography mechanism. This will be provides a security between the data communication and giving some protection to some of the, like when you are transferring text mails, when you are transferring text data, when you are having any sort of data which is related to data, this PGP, pretty good privacy. Here I am giving more explanation in this part. Here itself I am giving the more explanation. You please go through in the note. I already have done this in the note. Here I mentioned about more about the PGP. Look into that. This PGP is simply as part of this understanding. PGP stands for pretty good privacy. Its main focus is to protect the data, whatever it is going to be transferring between the users, maybe the text mails or normal mails or any attached files. For that sort of, it will provide the security. And Amazon S3, even in the complete insecure environment, is there because of some policies. When you define it, easily we can give some privileges to the cloud consumer as well. So encryption eats up CPU time much about that one. If you are goes on more giving more protection on the data, it eats your CPU time because you are accessing from other location. So it's not possible this to access anybody easily. As a result, first copy of your files is a plain text or a temporary backup server whose job is to perform encryption and then upload the backups into the cloud storage system. What it means is that whatever the file you are uploading into the any cloud, it first converted as a plain text, which is again to a temporarily backup server. The job of them is it will be encrypted. Then after encryption only, it will be uploaded into the backup of your cloud storage system. But this encryption process will not be visible to the normal end people. Okay? And see, I will show you. Hope everyone have remember while we are doing the S3 experiment, the simple storage service experiment in the AWS. There we have defined this is the normal process, Amazon S3. What we have done, we have created a bucket which is a storage area. This storage area will be again here this here going to be have the storage area. In this storage area, we can be inserted any type of object, maybe an image or text file, anything. For this one, the process is it is going to be encrypted here and also the decryption process will be there. For doing this one, see initially when you are going to be accessing, see this another scenario, continuation of the scenario. Initially we don't are giving the permissions for a normal user. Later, once the user wants to be pushed, initially it is a private, no doubt about that one. Initially when you want to make as a public, everyone can be visible, everyone can be access that one, then we have to be change some bucket policies. How we are going to be changing the bucket policies is this is the initially the permissions is not there, permissions for this, it is going to be denied. And once the bucket is going to be storing, we have some bucket policies will be there. If you define some bucket policies, we give permissions to only for some sort of peoples or for public. So the third step, if you see here, the bucket policy, because of that, the users are not access. So this 3 and 4 showing the error because the bucket policies are not defined. So for that purpose, what we have done is we have gone some settings in the IAM policy simulator. IAM policy simulator, that is identifier and accessing management IAM policy we have defined there, and we are going to be encrypted whatever the settings are there. We are raising a Lambda function. Hope you remember this also. We are raising a AWS Lambda function where we are changing the settings. How we are going to settings is here initial in the AWS configure. In the AWS configure, again we are going to be rules and regulations of that. From there, a Lambda function, a Lambda call. Say I will show you this example. This is the sample code. You are not returning there, but this is totally available in the total AWS IAM policy. This is entire. Only few changes like access key ID and ARN. We are going to be changing this into the respect bucket name followed by whatever for which IP address you like to be accessed. That changes we are going to doing here. So by seeing this screen, you get some idea that in S3 we have done these settings. So this is the Python code, which are this is a function, Lambda function for accessing, giving the permissions to access that bucket we are giving. So for this scenario, initially this is the scenario for S3. Later, because of some privileges, it is not possible because of not possible of the policies, the bucket can't be accessed. Next, what we are doing, we are doing, need to be changed this policies, and we are going to be accessed through a Lambda function. Lambda function will be written automatically. The code is available like this. Here we are going to be changing this settings, sort of settings over there as per our requirement. So this is part is called as encrypting. The encryption can be done. Encrypting network traffic as well as encrypting the backup. So these two can be done in these scenarios. So already we have done the S3 experiment. The same sort of the graphical representations I'm showing here to get some in detail explanation, right? So in the examination also, what you can do is you can do write entire S3 experiment itself, or else you just highlighted this screenshot. Whatever I'm showing here, this screenshot you please highlight it in the examination. That is more than enough for this. And the third subheading under the encrypt everything is your file system. Encrypt your file system. Encrypt your file system is, you please recall your Unix file system, which is starting with root followed by the different directories. Each directory is mentioned, the user, library, bin, mount, like this different subdirectories are there. Under that, how we are going to be encrypt this file system is, we have a directly called as MNT, mount partition. Hope you have remembered some of the commands related to the mount, like disk, du, df, how we are going to be connecting that. That the same part in the Unix EC2, whatever, it is going to be managed with the help of this mount. Mount is nothing but attaching and demounting, deattaching that one. So with the help of that, we are protecting this, we are encrypting this entire file system with the help of this MNT directory. And hope you have remember EC2 experiment as well, elastic cloud compute. Elastic computing of this will be done, already we have done this. This failure to encrypt the imperial devices poses only a very moderate risk in an EC2 environment, because the EC2 Zen is one of the technology. Zeros out that storage. Already we have studied about this Zen technology in the first unit, second chapter. System zeros out that storage when your instance terminates. Snapshots for block storage devices, however, sit in Amazon S3 unencrypted unless you take special action to encrypt that. Meaning of this one is, I will show you a figure. Meaning of this one is, see this figure. In this figure, what we are explaining is, hope this is a figure called as sequence diagram, right? So let we have here in this sequence diagram, these are the different objects we have. In these different objects, object 1, object 2, here, this is object 3 and object 4, right? So these objects, whatever we have, object 1, 2, 3, 4, totally, how they are going to interacting is, first is EC2. EC2 is going to be run some instances. Best example, if you remember, EC2 we have done with Red Hat Linux. What we have done it, I have created my server, Red Hat Linux, and including with a key. Hope you remember this, with a key. So this key I shared you in the cloud, this key, and what your other people has done, the other objects, those who want to be access this EC2 things, what they done it at the end of the cloud consumer, at the end of the user point is, they open the putty, they set the password, and they run some instances. So that instances may be installing a software, or that may be running a shell program or running a C program. So directly they can launch and they get some parameters, whatever the output they required, they are going to be done. The output has done in this EC2. So whatever you have done the program, who will be compiled, who will be run the program is from the server itself. But you are thinking that it is running by Putty. Putty is only one mediator between the cloud provider and cloud consumer, like the server and the user. So there we are going to be decrypting with the help of that password and mount that key, and you are going to be access this block devices, means mounting this device. So this process, the process of starting virtual server with encrypted file system, this is how the EC2 experiment done. So for this also, if you explain clearly your EC2 experiment, that is enough. Or draw this sequence diagram and explain this part. That is also be fine. Okay. Now here, let me see, have some, take some questions or something. Take some questions over here. Suresh. Suresh, are you there? Suresh, are you there? Yes. Suresh, just you on it and you left, you have somewhere 62 roll number. Right. Parikshit. Parikshit, are you there? Yes, Parikshit. Parikshit, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Parikshit. So which screen you are observing now?
So I'm observing this encrypted file. PDF, sir.
Right. So just now we have discussed EC2, right?
Yes, sir.
Fine, good. Just a, whether are you, any doubts till now?
So no, sir.
Right. Thank you,
Yes.
Parikshit. Suresh not yet came. Suresh, are you there? Still Suresh. Right. Fine. Just they put it in online. They kept it, the phone somewhere and they left it. Right. Govind. Right.
Sir,
Govind,
sir,
are you? Yeah, Govind. Are you
hi,
seeing
sir.
the screen?
Yes, sir.
Fine. So still now you have listened the class, right? Any doubts till now?
No, sir.
Right, Govind. Thank you. Right. So we'll continue. So here we are. Right here. Right. So till now we have completed the data security. So data security we have discussed this all or these are the three, the standards, everything we have discussed, the standard compliances. Just you go through in the textbook little bit more about the regularity and standard compliances so that you can get some more idea. Right. So this is the first topic we covered, and let me have start the second topic.